At the end of problem 1.1, we had some playtime, and we're going to put that to use in this problem 1.2. So again, we're millimeters, grams, and seconds. We're going to use parts origin is again kind of in that back left. Asymmetric, all sketches are fully defined. Center line circles, extruded boss. And the both circular bosses are the same. That's referring to the 6 mm top. So where the contours and regions come in will be that there's not really enough dimensions here to get this going. We have the 16, we have the 18. There's something missing that the length here or the length here doesn't really give us enough information. So overall, we have enough information. It's just not apparent which way it will go. So take a little look at that, and we're going to go into our part millimeters. So new, and the part millimeter, and I want to open a new sketch, and I'm going to see if this does the planes. All right. So last time I'm not quite sure what I clicked through, but when you hit the sketch without pre-selecting a plane in the feature tree, it gives you the preview, and then we're going to go ahead and put this on the front. And when I go to start the sketch, we'll just start in the bottom left. And there's not really rectangles, circles, anything that we can do here, so I'm going to drag close to the origin, wait till I see that little yellow box that says coincident. The endpoint of the line will be coincident. So again, I'm doing the click drag. If we do a click click, then we're going to be able to go further out. So I'm not going to worry about the slot just yet. And we'll go ahead and finish it off. Now you can do as much or as little of this shape as you want. If you want to draw the line and put a dimension on it, and then draw another line and see what dimensions are available, that's all perfectly valid, good way to do it. So one of the things that I did not see was a relation between here and here. So let's just work through the logic, and we'll add relations as we go. So speaking of the relations, let's just see what we did get before I get into the dimensions. So coincident, horizontal, vertical, nothing, nothing, horizontal, vertical. All right, so we have the two black lines that are fully defined, and we're going to start with some dimensions because typically I would try to do as many relations as I could get, but it isn't always going to come down um, to be easy or a specific order. So clicked on the line, place the dimension, put in the 8 mm, hit the enter button or the checkbox to get it to apply. All right, so one of the first relations that I want to apply is going to be that this line and this line are perpendicular. All right, so to select those, we're going to use the select control select. All right, so select in the work area, select the object, hold down the control button and select the other object. That's going to give you the context. And if you recognize these, there's the make perpendicular, but we can always go over to the property manager, which is going to give us the full description. So when I make that perpendicular, it was a small movement, but it was a movement. It's there. So when I click on those, it's showing me that there's a perpendicular. Now, if it had inferred those automatically, um, I could have looked for the inference line. I'm not always going to be thinking in terms of where that geometry really needs to play out. So as far as the length, we don't really know where this lands because We have 24 and 16, and that is to some point, but we don't really have a definition for that point. So we have to utilize the existing geometry, and this is where it falls into the contours and regions. As soon as I draw this next set of lines, so click, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag. And I'm not sure that it's the midpoint, so notice the little yellow box is showing me the endpoint. The inferences are showing me perpendicular. The long line highlights in orange, so that's telling me which one it'll be perpendicular to if I select. And then that one is parallel to the long line in orange. So a lot of visual clues going on, and it takes a little while to adjust and to decipher those. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that I don't get that midpoint and stay a little bit away from it, and then come over to the property manager and say, I do want it horizontal though. All right, so that's going to put the horizontal, and it's going to adjust accordingly. We can go back into the dimensions, and we have 16 to the first. And don't know what I hit, but I hit something, so we're going to use our best friend, Control Z, and that will return it, undo it, return it to its previous state, and we'll try 16 again. All right, so I am out of the dimension, so we're going to stay with the command manager, place it, and I went 16 and 18. Well, I really don't want to do that math, but let's use another tool. So if I were to go 16 plus 18, that will give me the 34. Now, if I really wanted to make sure that that geometry was the same, I'm just going to highlight and delete that off of the keyboard, or with the delete on the keyboard, and we'll drag in the 18. So there's our dimension. It was already, because of the math, it was already there. We're just kind of cementing that that geometry by adding the dimension. All right, so the next one is 24. We'll see what that does. So that kind of kicked it back a little bit. And then we have 16. So again, select, place the dimension, add the value, hit the OK. So now we get into the angle. All right, and so our angle is going to be the smart dimension with any two lines that are not parallel. So if I pick that line and I pick the base, that is the included angle that I want. So once I place it, that gives me the 65 degrees. We can hit the check mark or hit enter, and that gets our geometry in place. All right, so what am I missing for the height? The 58. All right, so let's see where that 58 is pointing. So up to the top all the way. So that one's going to be to the vertex, to the intersection of those two lines. So I'm still in Smart Dimension. If I click it again, I'm disabling it. So we go to the line, we go to the point, we place the dimension, we type in the 58 and hit enter. All right, so that gives me a fully defined sketch. Now I could go ahead and draw in the slot, but we'll do that as a secondary feature, just to introduce that that operation. If you want to go ahead and put that into this sketch, that's fine. There's a couple of different ways that we can approach it, and because we're already in the contours and regions, if I didn't do anything as far as removing that segment, I would just create the three lines and have another region to deal with. All right, but mainly everything here is fully defined, and there's always a level of complexity that we get to that we say, okay, this is enough. I'll go ahead and extrude this, and because we'll fly this in one more time, we have two depths here. All right, this depth is different. I really just want this region here to go to the 28 millimeters. And then we'll come back and share that sketch and be able to make the small piece. So as it highlights, there is the contour, or the region, and there is the contour. This one's only a partial, so it's not going to pull the full the full contour. All right, so easy in this case to just pick the region. We double click in the dimension, type in the 28, and if I hit enter or tab, it will update the preview, and then we can go ahead and accept. All right, so at this point, I don't want to draw that over. I don't want to draw that left side geometry over. I want to use what we already created. So I can highlight sketch 1, go right back into the extrude, and this time it's going to be 18. And it doesn't matter if we pick the select contours and then came back to the dimension, they're going to pretty much do the same thing. All right, so we're looking for that region. We come over and find it, we see the preview, and we want to merge the result. We want this to be one solid body. So right now we have the first solid body. If I were to not merge it, if I were to uncheck that, then I would end up with a solid body 2. But when we go ahead and accept that, I still have solid body 1 and all of the geometry is included. All right, so I'll go ahead and collapse that. We want to open a sketch on that face, so pre-selecting the face, the fastest is going to be to go into the end context, otherwise we come back over to the sketch and pick. So I'm going to encourage you to get in the habit of pre-selecting your geometry so that when you tell it to enter the sketch, whether it's on the command manager or on the context menu, it just finds it and it's ready to go. So let's do some sketching. We'll drag a line, and I'm going to go with the click on this one. And we bring that down. Watch those inference lines. So that one's showing me perpendicular, and that one's showing me perpendicular. And when I get close, it's going to snap to coincident. And then we'll go ahead and close it off so that it becomes a region. So that should stay along that edge. And if I drag these points, it's acting like a rectangle, but it's just tipped over. So we need to find a few dimensions. We'll go into the smart dimension. It has a width. And then let's talk a second about the placing the dimension. Because this is at an angle, we want the linear dimension. But if we drag straight up, we will get a horizontal. And if we drag straight out, we will get a vertical. So depending on where you place this, you have several solutions. So pay attention before you drop that dimension that it's where you want it to be. So the goal is to place it and end up with the geometry. Occasionally it's going to jump to one of the other ones. You'll have to delete it and then reapply it. So the distance from that line to the edge then is 15. And our overall height, and again watch that it snaps or goes vertical or horizontal. And one of the techniques to keep it linear is to stay close to the object. So that was 36. Now, since I did not include this in the first sketch and the first feature, then we're actually going to remove material. The extrude boss base now becomes an extrude cut. So we want to cut that material away. And, in the future, if I were to make this longer or shorter, I don't want to hard code a number in here. I want it to find its own way. So through all is a good option, and up to next is a good option. So if we just go through all, it finds the terminating face, and we accept it, and we have our cut. So I'm going to go Control 7, which if the keyboard we go to the cube, then we can pick those corners and pick the different elements to move this around. But we'll do some more with the control keys as we go a little further. All right, so the last of our geometry here is the two circles. So picking the face, well, let's do it without pre-selecting the face. So we go into the Sketch tab on the Command Manager. We go to Sketch on the for the tool, and then it's not showing me the planes, so I need to go in and select that plane. And because it puts it normal to that face, everything looks a little skewed. My origin is kind of tucked in a little bit, but that's okay. So we're going to draw one circle and then draw a second circle, and it doesn't necessarily matter if they're the same size. All right, so we can apply the first dimension, select the object, place the dimension, type in the 6, hit enter. And then because these are equal, we're going to use select, control, select. Select the first object, hold down control, select the second object. Those now become make equal, or we go over to the property manager and make equal. The next thing that we can do is, because these are in line, I want to clear these objects out. So I'm just going to select in the work area and then select the center point and select the center point. Those will be vertical. So the objects are going to be equal, and then the center points become vertical. We go back. Now I can pick the circle, place the dimension, 7.5, and we're working off of the edges. So let's see, that was a 15. Oh, it gave us a 7 as typical. So the edge to the circle, find some place that's convenient. I'm not real picky about where I place these as long as it's readable. Place the dimension, type in the 7, hit enter, and we're just going to do that again. Circle to edge, place the dimension, 7, enter. Okay, our sketch is fully defined. All of our objects are in black, and the status bar says fully defined. We can go ahead into the features, and we're going to do an extruded boss base, and our distance is 6. All right, so it's showing me the 18. If I want to see the preview, we'll hit tab or enter, and then when I accept it, that's going to give us the geometry. All right, so we'll save this, and it should default back to my assignment 1, and then this is going to be P1_2. All right, so the test, again, is that we see how close to their value we got, 70. Okay, don't know what that did. Still, Windows 11 is trying to organize for me. 70,039. So we go to the evaluate and the mass properties, and we are at 70,039.2. So we're staying real close to those numbers. All right, so that finishes up 1.2.